What is up, everybody? Dangerous here once again. I am back for my New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Japan Cup 2019 predictions. Now, the New Japan Cup is the first big tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and it all starts this Friday morning live on NewJapanWorld.com, and it all culminates on March 24th, where the winner of this year's New Japan Cup will go on to challenge the fourth youngest and 68th and reigning IWGP Heavyweight Champion, Switchblade Jay White, at G1 Supercard in the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Now, this year's New Japan Cup format is very different because it is New Japan's version of March Madness, because we have 32 competitors fighting for one opportunity. And I am so very excited to do my New Japan Cup predictions for you guys this year. This is going to be a long video because I'll be making my predictions from the first round all the way up to the final. So sit back, relax, and get those brackets ready, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, record last year was good. We went 5-3, but it was a very hollow winning record because none of my picks made it to the final. So this is my chance to redeem myself. So hopefully in this video, we will start off 2019 when it comes to tournament with a legitimate winning record. Hopefully. Now, if you have not checked out my New Japan Pro Wrestling's 47th anniversary show predictions yet, definitely go check that out. This is the second video of the day, and hopefully you guys will be able to watch all of these videos. Always show your love on all of my videos by watching those videos, super kicking those like buttons, hitting that notification bell, and commenting your picks and your opinions in the comment sections down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel, today is a first-time viewer, and this is your first video, boy, you picked a good one if you're a huge New Japan Pro Wrestling fan like myself, and you're ready for this year's New Japan Cup tournament. Welcome to the Dangerous Alliance. I am JJ Dangerous. Welcome to the club, because this club is to whoop whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into these New Japan Cup predictions. Starting off with the first tournament matchup. On one side, he is making his 12th New Japan Cup appearance, and he is the winner of the 2007 and the 2011 New Japan Cup tournament. And he is a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, making his theme debut on my channel. And if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata, and his opponent is representing Chaos. And he is making his 11th New Japan Cup appearance. He is a former Never Openweight champion, a former Ring of Honor television champion, and a former IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team champion. And he is one tough sumbitch. And if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii, or Golem. Now, these two have been going back and forth against each other in tag team matches throughout 2019, and they're finally meeting one-on-one. This is only the fourth one-on-one meeting between Nagata and Ishii, and Ishii has owned this rivalry, beating Nagata 3 straight times in the G1 Climax. So, this is Nagata's chance to finally defeat the Stone Pitbull, or will Ishii continue his winning ways against Yuji Nagata? So, coming from me in this first round matchup, man, I have a funny feeling she's going to make a deep run this year. So coming from me, I am taking the Stone Pitbull Tomohiro Ishii to defeat Yuji Nagata. And now the next first round matchup. First, he is making his 7th New Japan Cup appearance. He is the master of the Kokeshi. He is Honba. And his opponent is representing Suzuki-gun, Ichiban, and he is only making his 2nd New Japan Cup appearance. He is the former Never Openweight champion. He is his lordship, Lord Taichi. So coming from me in this first round matchup, I'm going to go with an upset. I'm going with Lord Taichi to defeat Honba. And now the next first round matchup. First, he is making his 9th New Japan Cup appearance, he is Monster Morning Manabu Nakanishi. And his opponent is also representing Chaos. And he is making his 6th New Japan Cup appearance, and I don't even know why he's even in this tournament. He is Headhunter himself, Yoshihashi or Tacos. Now, I say that because Yoshihashi really hasn't done anything in New Japan Pro Wrestling since he came back in New Year's Dash. And the fact they put him into this tournament kind of seems like, why? But coming from me in this first round matchup, I'm going to go with Headhunter Yoshihashi to upset Manabu Nakanishi. And now the next first round matchup. On one side, he is representing the Cutthroat era of He is making his debut in this year's New Japan Cup tournament. He is Bullet Club's only and true crown jewel. He is Chase Owens. And his opponent is representing Lifeblood. And he is making his 3rd New Japan Cup appearance. And he's coming in the first ever 2-time IWGP United States Champion. And he's one of my favorites in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is the flamboyant one, Juice Robinson. So coming from me in this first round matchup, I don't know. This one's going to be a good one because a lot of people don't remember Juice Robinson is the last person to defeat Switchblade Jay White. If you remember, he beat him for the United States title. So Switchblade Jay White has beaten everybody except for Juice Robinson. So do not be surprised Juice makes a deep run in this tournament. Coming from me, I am taking Juice Robinson to defeat Chase Owens. And now the next first round matchup. On one side, making his 4th New Japan Cup appearance, he is a former IWGP Intercontinental Champion, a former Never Openweight Champion, and a former Ring of Honor World Champion. He is Unbreakable Michael Elgin, or Big Mike, and his opponent is the leader of Chaos, and he is making his 3rd New Japan Cup appearance. He won this tournament all the way back in 2013, and he is the former longest reigning and defending IWGP Heavyweight Champion, and he's looking to get back to the gold. And if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. Now, these two have definite history. They've met each other 3 times in the G1 Climax, with Okada getting the upper hand on Michael Elgin. But this is the first time we've seen Michael Elgin in a long time. And what a way to come back by having your first opponent be in this tournament, Kazuchika Okada. And I know a lot of people are picking Okada to win this tournament this year, looking to become a 5-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion. And it's crazy to think he hasn't been the champion since June of last year. So coming from me in this big first round matchup, oh man, Elgin definitely. I'm happy he's back, and I want to see him more in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But coming from me in this first round matchup, I am taking Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada to defeat Michael Elgin. And now the next first round matchup between 2 debuters. On one side, he is representing the Cutthroat era of and he is making his debut in this year's New Japan Cup tournament. He accompanied his brothers, the Guerrillas of Destiny, at Honor Rising Night 2 for them to win the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles for the 5th time. He is Leo Tonga. And his opponent is the newest member of Chaos, and he is making his New Japan Cup debut. If you remember him in NXT, he was one half of the team known as TM61 and the Mighty. He was known as Nick Miller, but here he is known as Mad Mikey Nichols. So coming from me in this first round matchup between two debuters in this year's tournament, I'm going to go with the newest member of Chaos, Mad Mikey Nichols, to defeat Leo Tonga. And now the next first round matchup. On one side, making his New Japan Cup debut, he is the reigning never openweight champion. He is a former junior heavyweight champion, a best of Super Juniors champion, and he is one of my all-time favorites in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And if you know his music, his old music, you know who I'm talking about. Got to say. He is the aerial assassin Will Ospreay, and his opponent is also representing the cutthroat era of and he is making his 6th New Japan Cup appearance. He is indeed the Rogue General, and if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is Bad Luck Fale. Now, you talk about an interesting one-on-one first-round matchup. You got Will Ospreay, who is coming off defeating Jeff Cobb with a Stormbreaker. Think about it. Jeff Cobb's nearly 300 pounds, and Will Ospreay picked him up and beat him with the Stormbreaker. Ospreay is on a really big momentum boost right now after beating Dalton Castle for the never openweight title and then defeating Jeff Cobb. So he is riding high right now. And it's crazy to think that this is his first appearance in the New Japan Cup. This guy has been way overdue to be in this tournament, and hopefully this is the sign of him being in this year's G1 Climax. But what a test for Will Ospreay against Bad Luck Fale, and that is not an easy task for somebody who's been here 6 times, who's been in the finals before, and he knows how to put guys down that are the same size as Will Ospreay. So coming from me in this first round matchup, oh man, Ospreay's on fire right now, and I'll be able to say it right now, he will not hit a Stormbreaker on Bad Luck Fale. There ain't no way that's happening. But coming from me, I'm going for the upset here. I'm going with Will Ospreay to upset Bad Luck Fale. And now the final first round matchup on the left side of this New Japan Cup bracket. On one side, you have making his New Japan Cup debut. He is the youngster Toa Hanare, and his opponent is representing Suzuki Gun Ichiban, and he is one half of the Killer Elite Squad, making his 5th New Japan Cup appearance. He is the American Psycho himself, Lance Archer. So coming from me in this final first round matchup on the left side of this bracket, I am going with the American Psycho Lance Archer to defeat Toa Hanare. And now on to the right side of this New Japan Cup tournament with a first round matchup. On one side, making his debut in this year's New Japan Cup, he is the young lion who is the son of Red Shoes Umino. He is Shota Umino. And his opponent is making his 10th New Japan Cup appearance. He is the winner of the 2005 and the 2008 New Japan Cup tournament, and he is the former 8-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He is indeed the ace of the universe, and if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, this first round matchup seems like a 16 seed versus a 1 seed. A young lion versus the ace of the universe. And we have seen it before. Anything can happen in these kind of tournaments. We saw it last year in the men's NCAA tournament. A 16 seed defeated a 1 seed. So there is a chance for Shota Umino to actually beat Hiroshi Tanahashi. But it's going to be a tall mountain to climb. Now, with Tanahashi, he's looking to get back into the title picture after losing his IWGP Heavyweight title in Osaka in February to Switchblade Jay White. He has won this tournament. He has won this New Japan Cup before twice, and he's looking to make it 3 times. So, coming from me in this first round matchup, Shota's going to give Tanahashi a fight, but coming from me, I can't go against the ace of the universe. So, I'm taking Hiroshi Tanahashi to defeat Shota Umino. And now the next first round matchup. On one side, he is also making his New Japan Cup debut. He is also a member of Lifeblood, and he is a 4th generation superstar. He is David Finlay. And his opponent is making his 8th New Japan Cup appearance. He is a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, easily the greatest IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champion with his partner Kojima, making his theme debut on my channel. And if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is Tenzan. So coming from me in this first round matchup, oh man, this one's going to be a good one. But coming from me, I'm going to go for an upset here. I'm going to go with David Finlay to defeat Tenzan. And now the next first round matchup, and this one's going to be an absolute banger. On one side, he is making his 3rd New Japan Cup appearance. He made his return at New Beginning in Osaka, and he is here in New Japan Pro Wrestling for the long haul. He won this tournament back in 2015, and he is one of my favorites, and he is still forever 1/2 of the Golden Elite, 1/2 of the Golden Lovers, and if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about, and Kane Gaming's favorite. He is Golden Star Ibushi Kota! And his opponent is the leader of the Los Ingobernables de Japón. He is making his 8th New Japan Cup appearance. He is the last person to cash in his New Japan Cup title and win the IWGP Heavyweight title in 2016. He is coming in as the reigning 3-time IWGP Intercontinental Champion, and he's looking to become the first ever double champion. And if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. Ooh, Naito! He is Tetsuya Naito. Now, you talk about an amazing first round matchup we got here in this tournament this year. I mean, you got Ibushi versus Naito. I mean, if you remember their matchup at the G1 Climax, it was absolutely amazing with Naito getting the upper hand. Now, starting off with Ibushi first, this is his first match since he suffered that concussion at Wrestle Kingdom 13 from Will Ospreay. Now, yes, he is here for the long haul. He did sign a 2-year deal with New Japan Pro Wrestling, so if New Japan is smart, they will strap a rocket to him and fly him to the moon and get him his opportunity at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship sooner rather than later. And what a draw for Kota Ibushi to come back after the concussion against Tetsuya Naito, the reigning Intercontinental Champion. So this is a big opportunity for Naito in one sense. He wins, he moves on, and he also gets an IWGP Intercontinental title opportunity, possibly at G1 Supercard. The only other side, you have Naito looking to become the first ever double champion. Nobody has ever held the Intercontinental title or the IWGP Heavyweight title at the same time, and that's what Naito's dream is right now. He had to get into this match to have that opportunity, and he is in it. But he's got a tough draw too with Ibushi, and Ibushi is just another challenger for that Intercontinental title. So Naito better not take Ibushi lightly. So coming from me in this banger first round matchup, oh my God, this one's so damn hard. This one's the hardest. This is one of the hardest first round matches to pick. But coming from me, Naito beat him in the G1 a couple years ago, so it's time for Ibushi to get that revenge. So coming from me, I am taking Kota Ibushi to defeat Tetsuya Naito. And now in the next first round matchup, and this one's even bigger than that last one I was talking about. On one side, he is representing a Los Ingobernables de Japón. He is making his third New Japan Cup appearance, and he is the former two-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champion with his partner Sanada. And he's one of my all-time favorites, and if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is King of Darkness, evil, because this is evil. Everything is evil. Superdela. All of it and everything is evil. And his opponent is representing Suzuki Gun, Ichiban, and he is the reigning and defending New Japan Cup winner, making his second New Japan Cup appearance. He won it all last year and became the first British-born New Japan Cup winner, and he is one of my all-time favorites. He is the greatest submission specialist in the world today, and if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is Zack Sabre Jr. Now, you talk about another banger of a first-round matchup. These two are no strangers to each other. Zack Sabre Jr. has owned Evil in one-on-one matches, but at New Beginning in Sapporo Night 1, Evil finally beat Zack Sabre Jr. with Everything is Evil. And now Evil has a chance to do it once again and knock off the reigning New Japan Cup champion. Now, Zack Sabre Jr. is looking to become only the second man to ever go back-to-back New Japan Cup winner. Last person to do it, Hiroki Goto, back in 2009 and 2010. And this year, it is not going to be as easy as it was last year. He's going to have to tap out everybody in this tournament just to remain the New Japan Cup winner and go on to face Switchblade Jay White. So coming from me in this banger of a first-round matchup, oh man, this one's going to be a damn good matchup. You thought Ibushi and Naito was going to be good. This one's going to be even better. So coming from me, Evil got the win off Zack Sabre Jr. in Sapporo. So coming from me, I'm taking the reigning champ Zack Sabre Jr. to get his win back and tap out King of Darkness Evil. And now the next first round matchup. On one side, making his 12th New Japan Cup appearance, he is 1/3 of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions, a former IWGP champion in his own right. He is the Unchained Gorilla Togi Makabe. And his opponent is making his New Japan Cup debut. He is a former Ring of Honor tag team champion. He is a former NWA World Heavyweight champion, and he is Chicago's finest and Ian Riccaboni's tag team announcing partner. And I don't even have to tell you who it is because his theme tells you.
boom, boom. Colt Cabana, boom, boom. Colt Cabana, boom, boom. Colt Cabana, it's Colt Cabana.
So coming from me in this first round matchup, whoo, man, this one's going to be a good one. It can go either way, but coming from me, I may get this one wrong, but I'm going to go with Togi Makabe to defeat Colt Cabana. And now the next first round matchup. On one side, making his 13th New Japan Cup appearance, he is representing Chaos, and he is the other half of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions with Makabe and Taguchi. He is the Sublime Master Thief Toru Yano. And his opponent is representing Suzuki Gun, Ichiban, and he is making his 4th New Japan Cup appearance. He is the other half of the Killer Elite Squad with Lance Archer. He is Davey Boy Smith Jr. Now, if I'm thinking this right, Yano's been in almost every New Japan Cup since I don't know if it's since the inception, but he's been in almost every New Japan Cup tournament. And this is his 13th New Japan Cup appearance. Could it be lucky for Yano, or it could be unlucky for his opponent? So coming from me in this first round matchup, oh man, Davey Boy Smith Jr. is not going to take those kind of hijinks very well. So I'm going to take Toru Yano to defeat Davey Boy Smith Jr. And now the next first round matchup. On one side, making his 6th New Japan Cup appearance, he is a former IWGP Heavyweight Champion and easily the greatest IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champion with his partner and best friend Tenzan. He is Satoshi Kojima. And Kojima's opponent is the leader of Suzuki Gun, Ichiban, and he is making his 5th New Japan Cup appearance. He is the former Never Openweight Champion, a former IWGP Intercontinental Champion. He is the reigning British Heavyweight Tag Team Champions with Zack Sabre Jr. He is the Torture Master himself, Minoru Suzuki. So coming from me in this first round matchup, I know a lot of people are picking Suzuki to win this tournament. I know Chris Carlson on Twitter, the British announcer for New Japan World with Kevin Kelly, is picking Suzuki to win this whole thing. And I would not be surprised if he does. But coming from me, I am taking Minoru Suzuki to defeat Satoshi Kojima. And now the final first round matchup in this year's New Japan Cup tournament. On one side, he is representing Chaos, and he is making his 11th New Japan Cup appearance, and he is the only 3-time winner of this tournament. He won it in 2009, 2010, and 2012. He is the former 4-time Never Openweight Champion, and if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is the fierce warrior Hiroki Goto. And Goto's opponent is representing a Los Ingobernables de opponent. He is only making his 3rd New Japan Cup appearance. And he is also one half of the former 2-time IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions with his partner Evil. He is the Master of the Skull and the Muda Moonsault. And if you know his music, you know who I'm talking about. He is called Skull Sonata. So coming from me in this final first round matchup in this year's New Japan Cup tournament. Ooh, man, this one's going to be a good one. But coming from me, I'm going to go with the only 3-time New Japan Cup winner, Hiroki Goto, to defeat Cold Skull Sonata. And now on to my Sweet 16 predictions to see who will make it to the Elite 8. Starting off with the first Sweet 16 matchup, Tomohiro Ishii versus Lord Taichi. So coming from me in this Sweet 16 battle, I'm going to take Tomohiro Ishii to defeat Lord Taichi. And now the next Sweet 16 matchup, pitting Yoshihashi facing off against the two-time IWGP US Champion Juice Robinson. So coming from me in this Sweet 16 matchup, I'm going to go with the IWGP US Champion Juice Robinson to defeat Yoshihashi. And now the next Sweet 16 matchup, pitting Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada facing off against the newest member of Chaos, Mad Mikey Nichols. So coming from me in this Sweet 16 showdown, between Chaos members, I am taking Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada to defeat Mad Mickey Nichols. And now the final Sweet 16 matchup on this side of the bracket, pitting the Never Openweight Champion Will Ospreay facing off against the American Psycho Lance Archer. So coming from me in this final Sweet 16 matchup on this side of this bracket, I'm going to go with another upset. I'm going with Will Ospreay to defeat Lance Archer. And now my Sweet 16 matchups on the right side of this bracket, starting off with the first Sweet 16 showdown, between Hiroshi Tanahashi and David Finlay. So coming from me in this Sweet 16 showdown, I am taking Hiroshi Tanahashi to defeat David Finlay. And now the next Sweet 16 battle, and it's a rematch of last year's meeting in the New Japan Cup between Golden Star Ibushi Kota and the reigning New Japan Cup winner, Zack Sabre Jr. Now, last year, Zack Sabre Jr. tapped out Ibushi. So coming from me in this Sweet 16 matchup, I think Ibushi gets revenge, and that revenge is a Kamigoye. So I'm taking Kota Ibushi to defeat the reigning New Japan Cup winner, Zack Sabre Jr. And now the next Sweet 16 matchup between two best friends and two champions. On one side you have Togi Makabe facing off against his tag team champion partner Toru Yano. So coming from me in this Sweet 16 showdown, this one's going to be a tricky one. Yano and his tricks against Makabe and his experience. But I'm going to go with Togi Makabe to defeat Toru Yano. And now the final Sweet 16 matchup to see who will make it to the Elite Eight, and these two know each other very well. Minoru Suzuki facing off against the only three-time winner of this tournament, Hiroki Goto. Now, I say this matchup is personal because if you remember, Wrestle Kingdom 12, Goto beat Suzuki, and Suzuki had to shave that hair. So, you know Suzuki is looking for some revenge. So, coming from me in this final Sweet 16 matchup in this year's New Japan Cup, I'm going to go with Minoru Suzuki to defeat Hiroki Goto. And now on to my Elite 8 predictions to see who will make it to my Final Four. Starting off with the first Elite 8 matchup between Tomohiro Ishii and Juice Robinson. So coming from me in this Elite 8 matchup, this one could be a fantastic matchup. But coming from me, I am taking Tomohiro Ishii to defeat Juice Robinson. And now the next Elite 8 matchup, pitting two Chaos members against each other, between Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada facing off against the Never Openweight Champion Will Ospreay. Now, their meeting last year in the anniversary show was fantastic, so you know these two are gonna kill it in this Elite 8 matchup. So coming from me in this Elite 8 showdown, I gotta go with Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada to defeat Will Ospreay. And now on to the next Elite 8 matchup between Hiroshi Tanahashi and Golden Star Ibushi Kota. Now, this is a rematch of last year's G1 Climax Finals, which Tanahashi won, and a lot of people, including myself and Kane Gaiman, thought Ibushi deserved that moment. And this is kind of our chance to get some revenge against Tanahashi for taking Ibushi's chance of becoming a first ever Ibushi trying to look to become the first ever guy to win the New Japan Cup, Best of Super Juniors, and the G1 Climax. So, coming from me in this huge Elite 8 showdown matchup, Tanahashi beat Ibushi in the finals, yes. But here, I am taking Kota Ibushi to exact his revenge and defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi. And now the final Elite 8 matchup to see who will make it to my Final Four between Togi Makabe and Minoru Suzuki. So coming from me in this final Elite 8 matchup, man, this one's going to be a damn good one. But I'm going to go with Minoru Suzuki to defeat Togi Makabe. So my Final Four are Ishii, Okada, Ibushi, Suzuki. And now on to my Final Four predictions to see who will make it to this year's final. Starting off with the first semi-final matchup between, once again, two Chaos members. Tomohiro Ishii facing off against Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada. So coming from me in the semifinal match to see who will make it to the finals this year. Oh man, as much as I want Ishii to win this matchup, I think this tournament was bred for Okada to win. So I am taking Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada to defeat Ishii and advance to the finals. Now on to the second semifinal match between Golden Star Ibushi Kota and Minoru Suzuki. Now this matchup is going to be very interesting because you can go either way with this. Because if you want Ibushi to be in the finals, or you want to see Suzuki in the finals and maybe get an opportunity of facing Jay White. Suzuki versus Jay White. That could be a money match. So coming from me in this other semifinal match to see who will make it to the finals of this year's New Japan Cup. Man, this one's the hardest pick because I love Suzuki and I love Ibushi. And it can go either way here. And I wouldn't mind seeing Okada Suzuki or Okada Ibushi. So coming from me, I may get this one wrong, but I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go with Ibushi Kota to defeat Minoru Suzuki and advance to the New Japan Cup Finals. And now on to the finals between Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada looking to win his second New Japan Cup, facing off against Kota Ibushi looking to win his second New Japan Cup. Now these two have met one time in New Japan Pro Wrestling at the 40th anniversary show for New Japan Pro Wrestling when Okada was the IWGP Heavyweight Champion and Ibushi was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and it was a banger. So you already know these two are gonna go at it from the word go. So coming from me in the 2019 New Japan Cup Finals to see who will be facing Switchblade Jay White at Madison Square Garden. As much as I want Kota Ibushi to win this matchup, it's not here yet. So coming from me, I am taking a Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada to win this year's New Japan Cup, win his second New Japan Cup in his history, and defeat Kota Ibushi and go on to Madison Square Garden and face the man who beat him at Wrestle Kingdom 13, Switchblade Jay White. And those are my New Japan Cup predictions, New Japan Cup 2019 predictions. Whew, now I want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video today. Comment below, who do you have winning this year's New Japan Cup? What do you guys think of this whole 32-man field? I have Kazuchika Okada winning. Let me know in the comment section below your picks. And I have the English brackets in the description box down below. So if you guys want to fill it out and post them in the comment section, by all means do it. Let's have a conversation about your picks. As always, if I see your comment, I'm going to like it. And of course, I'm going to reply right back to you because comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching my New Japan Cup predictions today. Now, before you guys go, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. And of course, you guys can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button to become part of this bigger and dangerous Alliance, and I will see you guys next Monday for my Ring of Honor's 17th anniversary show 2019 predictions. Taven Lethal and Villain Enterprises versus the Briscoes. Later days, guys, and peace.